my biggest successes is to come back and keep playing at such a good standard. More than maybe winning things at times, to be able to keep recreating that after setbacks, after tough moments, tough times, feeling so lonely and alone by yourself training. Very different side of football, and one that I wish I didn't have, but got through it. So we're here now anyway, we're back.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the official Man City podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, George Kelsey, Sam Cox, the other co-host, and then completing our pretty incredible defensive three is John Stones, our special guest today.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You've been doing a lot of the work, I think, in that back three.
Yeah. No.
How are you, firstly?
Oh, good, yeah. Really good. Happy to be on the podcast. Don't do many of these, to be fair. So
Good to have you.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think last time you were on, you said it was the first one you'd
ever done. Yeah. Second one, this one.
I was going to say, have you not done this one since?
No.
Oh God, no pressure.
Not someone.
No pressure on us because it wasn't us two last time.
Exactly,
so hopefully we can be
better
or equal. We'll say equal. We'll say equal.
That's fair.
Yeah. I suppose the last time you did the podcast, there was a lot of talk, quite rightly and fairly, about Istanbul, the Champions League, etc. Feels fair, given we played at the time of recording, we played a Turkish side last night in Galatasaray.
Yeah.
Start there. It was obviously an important win, and just wondering how the team are kind of feeling after that, because it was important to try and get in that top 8, and we've managed to do it.
Yeah, no, big achievement, I suppose, or step in the right direction, definitely. After the game was a bit up and down, to be honest, with not knowing, with other games still going on. And then, we're all in the changing room watching Madrid, Benfica, obviously Bernardo and Ruben's team. And they get a free kick in the last minute. We're all thinking, no, why is the keeper going up? I think there's surely some footage of it. We're all going, no, come on, it can't. Just, you're winning, just shut up shop, get a few people in the box, put it in the corner. The next minute the keeper scores, and we go crazy in the dressing room. And it was a nice kind of eerie moment to elation, really, and that's the nice moments about football. And you can come together in a moment that's of uncertainty after our game and doing our job, and then relying on a few good results, and then having the pleasure of finishing on a high. And it's only the start and one step done, but it's a big step.
Amazing. Well, it must have been nice as well last night, talking about winning in the old format, former captain being back again, seeing Ilkay and also seeing Leroy as well must have been quite nice.
Yeah, really nice. Came in the dressing room after. Really nice in one way and sad in another that we, it's changed so much for them coming back into the dressing room. It might have... It's a strange situation when you don't know everyone. Ilkay does more than Leroy,
sure.
But nonetheless, it's still really good to see how they're just treated around the place. I think it's one thing that I love about us as a club and us as fans is how classy they can be within moments. How much respect they. How much love they show to previous players that have been successful or had a special bond with the fans. And I think, they definitely feel that, and it shows that they can come back into the dressing room and, on another note, coming away from the pitch and being, still friends and still feeling loved here.
Yeah, so there can be a lot of short memories in football.
Yeah,
sort
definitely.
of forgetting
100%. And it was. We were saying last night it was nice to share memories that you'd forgot about. Put to the back of your mind. It's nice to kind of go back over them.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. Last time you were on the podcast was probably just over 18 months ago. I think we were en route to winning the 4th title in a row, and then obviously the Euros that summer. So
Okay.
a lot's happened since then, to be fair.
I mean, it goes so fast now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally,
it does.
yeah. I was
Yeah.
thinking that when I was going through. I was like, right, that, then that, then that, then that.
Yeah.
How do you maybe reflect on the last couple of years or so? Because it's been, you've had a lot of highs, obviously winning that title, getting to the Euros final with England, although obviously would have preferred to have won it, I'm sure. But then last season maybe didn't quite hit the standards we would have hoped. There's been a bit of a change. But how do you reflect on it?
Yeah, difficult, very difficult. As a team, a club, last season, it's hard to put it into words. I think it kind of makes you realise what we've done in football, having the season we did last season, because that can be quite the norm for teams that win something and then have a drop. But for us, it was probably more of a shock in a way because of how successful and how dominant we've been for so long. To then have a drop in I want to say standards, because we've always tried to keep standards high. I think executing what we've tried to do, it wasn't good enough, and we take full responsibility for that, and I think we've used it in a way to put things right and motivate us to make sure we don't have that feeling again. And personally, for me, was really low. You know, I don't know if you'd seen me say I was considering stopping. Was done at the lowest point mentally, as in couldn't understand why these things were happening to me when I put so much work in, when I tried to be so professional. And yeah, I don't think I'll know, to be honest, 'cause some things are out of your control. But when you dedicate everything and put in so much work away from this building and at home, in your gym and nutrition, timings, and just everything, I think it makes it harder to swallow that you don't know why these things are happening, and people here don't know why. And I had 2 rare injuries last season that kind of added to that pile, really, and got through it. So we're here now anyway. We're back, and I think sometimes they're probably my biggest successes is to come back and keep playing at such a good standard, more than maybe winning things at times, you know, to be able to keep recreating that after setbacks, after tough moments, tough times, feeling so lonely and alone by yourself training. Very different side of football, and one that I wish I didn't have, but you know, I can't change that. And looking forward, and we've had some great moments, and I think we're always striving for that. I am personally striving for that feeling of winning again, and that's what keeps you going.
Obviously, you mentioned there last year looked different for you personally as well as the group, but maybe even appreciation of what happened before, because Champions League qualification and an FA Cup final, with due respect to every team in the league, would look at that as a successful season. But obviously for City's standards, you know, how did that maybe change your perception or change maybe your appreciation for what had happened before then?
Yeah, I think there's one, I can't remember what points it was last season, away from Arsenal, and it's how things are perceived and pushed and looked at, and I think we were, I want to say 4 points, 3, 4 points, 5 points, I don't know. It was close that we ended up finish away from Arsenal. And in their eyes, or people's eyes, was that how they had such a great season and how bad our season was. But if we look at the things that we were in, and obviously didn't succeed in, we had a good season. If you look at it in that way. Obviously from our standards that we've set, it's not. and that's rightly so. But everything's relatable, I think, and it's very. I'll say humbling. Yeah, it's humbling in a way because we've created that standard. We set that bar so high. We've been so dominant that last season was what it was, and what we take from that is selective as individuals, as players. But as a collective, we felt the pain and the hurt of not succeeding. And like you said, it does make you realise what you've done and what's possible as well. You know, it's so possible to do, to get back to those heights, because everyone's striving for more, striving for better, and it's what we owe everyone at the club, us as players, individuals, as a team, for the fans that turn up every week, or the fans that are around the world. You know, everyone that loves this club has gone through those emotions, and good and bad, and we all want the good ones again.
Yeah, let's talk about the good ones, hopefully. I was doing a bit of, obviously, looking at the squad and so on, and I think it's only yourself, Bernardo and Phil that were part of the team that won that first Premier League title under Pep.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as you said, there's a winning standard that you guys have hit almost every single year. So do you notice a similar kind of maybe hunger to what you guys had in that season to get that first title with the new signings who are coming into a team who are looking to kind of win the title back again, in a way?
I think so, yeah. I mean, I don't look into it like that.
No, of course, that's our job.
It's another way of looking at it, yeah. I think if from a young kid, you've got it or you don't, you know. Some grow into it sooner than others, but there's something that with, like, what from my experience of the elite of the elite, they've got this power, I suppose, of winning in whatever way, you know. And everyone that's in this club says it perfectly. Everyone's got a superpower within their own ability, you know, that makes them special, and grouped within that is this thing that you can't put your finger on, but like just a winner, you know, the upset when they lose, and it takes people to show you a path, kind of, sometimes to become that winner, you know. Pep did that. Vinny did it for me. David, Sergio, you know, all those players, Dino, that had done it before, make that journey easier, because, you know, you feel comfort within their presence, or when you're around them, because they've been there, they've done it. But it doesn't stop the journey of winning. It kind of just takes those people to bring it out of you, or show you the way. If that makes sense, it's a bit of a weird way of looking at it, but
so is that something maybe it's inside of every player here, 100%. And it just needs someone to show it or bring it out of you?
Yeah. And sometimes, I mean, I revert back to the treble season of, I believe it was already written for us, you know. Once we won the Premier League, I was going into the FA Cup not thinking about the Champions League at all. It's just my mentality is I know we're playing next, and it's like, right, we've got to do that to then go to the next one. And once the game came, obviously Gundo scores so early, I don't know, it was there. It wasn't the smooth game, but you felt it. But then going to the Champions League, the final, I didn't really have any emotion, no nerves, no nothing. It was like just cold. I just knew it was ours for some reason. When I look back, in that moment, you're not thinking like that. You're just focused on what's in front of you. But looking back now, there was some sort of feeling around the place, or around me, that just knew, you know, that we were going to win that, or it might have been a mentality thing, something in that game brought out that kid inside, you know, that just wants to win, and he'll do anything and try anything and fight for anything. I hope that doesn't come across arrogant at all.
No, I don't think it does. No.
It kind of, it's interesting because, like, I can't remember who said it before, but some of the most difficult questions they say that you can be asked is sort of, what do you remember from this happening? It's like, I was there at the time. I had my job to do, and then you look back at it after. That's kind of what you say.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever fully appreciated it, or won't do until I stop. Or whatever you achieve in your career. But it's I suppose that's another a kind of winning mentality that you just focused on what's in front of you. Kind of what's done is done, and then you can enjoy it when you haven't got that standard, that goal to achieve anymore.
It is a cliche, but it's probably a cliche because it's used so often, because it rings true, is that you do literally take each game as it comes.
100%.
That's the point.
Yeah. I mean, probably the guys will laugh at me because they'll ask, or my friends, sorry, not the boys here, people will ask, "Oh, who have you got at the weekend?" And I said, "Oh, I don't know. I know we've got so-and-so on Wednesday or whatever."
Yeah.
How do you not know? Don't know. It's just a way of coping. It's a way of being able to focus my energy on one thing, which allows me to give everything to that moment, that occasion, and then focus on what you can control, and which would be the next one after that.
Yeah.
Is that an example of maybe, as you said there, about the winning mentality? It almost, not that it does matter who's next, but that's not the sole focus. The focus is on winning. So it could be any team coming up next. It's
exactly
wanting to win every single game.
Yeah. You couldn't say it better. It's just what is in front of you, you know. And I think when you start looking past that and thinking, oh well, if we do this, we can, I don't know, place here, or we might get this team, or doesn't matter, you know what will be. You can't control what happens there. What you can control what's going on in this moment, within training, focusing on the game. You know, that I believe that's the way that I look at it, and everyone each to their own. But you don't. I don't think that many of the boys will look forward too much. You know.
We talked a little bit about some of the new guys that have come in. One of them recently is Marc Guehi, who you obviously know very well from England as well. Just talk to us quickly about sort of how key a signing that could be for City, because I think maybe before the Euros a couple of years ago, people in England or that watched the Premier League appreciated how good a player he was. But I think maybe that summer, probably a bit around the continent, were thinking, blimmin' heck, this guy knows what he's doing. So, like, how big a signing do you feel he is? He's
great. He's such a good guy to be around. Very mature head on his shoulders. I'm a big fan of Mark's personally, for how he goes about the game, how he goes about his business, the qualities he's got. Playing with him, obviously we got to a final together. Again, another incredible moment for us, I suppose. I'll say for us, you know, for him, for how he played throughout that tournament. New kind of feelings and experience for him to be going through games that are, you know, cutthroat and to be successful, and I'm so proud of how he played, and the partnership that we had together during that I don't know how many weeks it was away, but it was a pleasure, and he'll be an incredible signing for us for however long he's here. Definitely.
It's really interesting to hear you say, obviously, how proud you were of him. Does that almost come down to what you mentioned when you were just maybe starting at City, when you had the players like Kompany and Aguero? Did you almost feel maybe a responsibility to have that to him there at that tournament, or was it a natural sort of progression as you two playing together?
I mean, I believe you can't be a good centre half without someone next to you that's on the same page. Mm-hmm. You have to be bailed out at times where the last line, something goes wrong, it's on us, and to have the trust or the faith or the willingness to have someone next to you that is going to, do their best for the both of you. Mm-hmm. Is a win in itself before you've even started. And we had that definitely with during that whole tournament. I think he got suspended maybe for a game or two, and he obviously was gutted, but we obviously went on and did so well.
Yeah. It's probably, I mean, you might be quite biased to this, to be fair, John, but it's probably one of the closest bonds on a football pitch. If you're playing a back four in particular, your two centre halves are the two that really have to be, as you say, working together, communicating. And like, what do you maybe look for in a centre back partner, or do you try to be as a centre back partner to make sure that whoever you're with is working the best? Is it sort of as simple as knowing what their strengths are and maybe where their pitfalls might be, or is it about having those conversations off the pitch and making sure that you're really aligned before you go on?
That is tough. Being there on the pitch during the bad moments, the good moments, obviously it takes time and repetition through things to understand how people play and what they like doing, the movements that they like, the positions that they take up, and so really that's a hard one for me to answer. I don't look at it into it kind of that deep, but a conversation, and it's always kind of small things that make the big differences. Might just be a shout of your name that something's behind you that you can't see, that they can't get to, or a positioning thing that that they're going to be there so you can take your position off. Little things like that, and a togetherness that is that's selfless, I think that's their key. It's a key thing, that one big key thing. I think you'll know what you're going to get from people from the first moment you train with them or play with them, what kind of character they are, and from being around them off the pitch, and all these kind of things kind of make up your mind without even thinking about it sometimes. Because the quality of the lads is, you don't need to question it. It's about going through moments together and how you can bounce back, or good moments that how you react to them. And I think a lot now is comes off body language quite a lot, and Mark's is second to none. It's about being positive in so many moments. Like, people look at us at the back and try and feed off us because we start the game from a goal kick sometimes. We have a lot of the ball. It's how we put all those things together. We organise people, we lift people up when things aren't going well. The body language is so big. And it's correcting people as well. Are you gonna take the advice off someone when they give it? And I mean, it's coming from a good place from these guys, Mark, Ruben, Nathan, Josko, and that builds that bond. And I don't know, another team that's got different partnerships like we have, throughout the team that can be swapped and have such a similar dynamic. It's a really, really good place to be.
Yeah. You talk about like as you say, the strength in depth and the way that we can sort of chop and change and still have the same quality. It's probably the toughest question of the podcast. I ask who your favourite centre-back partner is that you've ever had, and maybe not just at City, like you say, but obviously you're probably more of a right-back at Barnsley predominantly, but Everton, Phil Jagielka, Sylvain Distad, and England as well with Harry Maguire and Marc Guehi as well.
Yeah. I'm not going to say one, but first Jags was incredible. The perfect guy for me starting kind of my Premier League career. His energy, his knowledge, his experience, his willingness to help me. I loved playing with him. Sylvain was the same. Of an older head, an absolute machine, an incredible person. You probably see a theme going on. Then moving here with Vinny. God, I've played with so many players. When you look back now,
just reeling them off in my head.
Vinny.
There was that partnership where you were with Ruben in the season.
Yeah,
behind.
I was thinking
doors,
before that, but Ruben.
Before,
me and Ruben. At England, me and Harry. Played. I don't know how many games together. Esri Konza. I feel bad if I miss someone out now. Me and Mark. I think that's. Yeah, I've been lucky to play with so many good players that have all had very similar attributes in doing it together, being that unit and having that structure to, build off.
It's not a bad selection, is it? Really, when you think about it.
We didn't quite.
My memory's not the best either, so honestly, I've probably missed some people out there, so they'll have to forgive me.
That's quite a reel though, that you've managed to think of on the spot. So
I know.
No, fair play.
Like as you said when you were younger as well, but just like from an education point of view, even at Premier League level with Everton, like Jagielka, like so experienced, Sylvain Distan, as someone who grew up on the South Coast, seeing him play for Portsmouth and then to Everton and what he did there, like those two at the start must have been such a great education to have.
Huge, and even then, like they'd had David Moyes for quite a number of years, and then the change of Roberto coming in, the willingness to learn still, and that's something that one of my manager and his assistant at Barnsley, Keith Hill, they were so big on the willingness to learn and wanting to learn. And I believe when you stop that, or you stop wanting to improve and listen and take advice, then might as well hang the boots up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Amazing. I mean, John, we would peck your head all day if we could. I'm sure you're good in for the exit, but we're kind of coming to the end. But I wanted to talk to you and get your thoughts on your relationship with the fans, because I mean, it's a really special bond, and how important is it for you to have that with, and City's obviously the obvious one because you spent the majority of your career at the club, but wherever you've been, how important is it to have that relationship with the fans?
I mean, don't know where to start really. It's hard to, when you say important, it's like, they've created this this bond, I suppose. When I first came, I wanted to succeed and be successful, be a good player, be a good person for the club around the place, and then that gives them an insight into us as players. And I think the love that they show then kind of creates that relationship, and it's without speaking to one another. It's a difficult for me to explain, but like, if you asked me when I was a kid, how would you feel playing in the Premier League? You know, if I was in my back garden kicking a ball into a net, or on the street using a street sign as a goal, you're gonna play at City. The fans are gonna sing your name. They love you for your success, your faults at times, because that's how you grow, and they understand that. And that's, for me, a thing that they understand so well. You know, I'm going off point here a bit, but the transition from when I first came was new manager, new style of play. How they dealt with that in the manner they did was positivity, getting right behind us. They believed in it. It makes everyone believe in it. I want to say it's rare, to have that. The love everywhere we go around the world, the fans that travel around the world. Going back to the point of asking me as a kid in a garden, you're going to play, fans are going to sing your name, you're going to have an incredible relationship with them. You're going to walk a Champions League trophy through them, or with them, parades, singing your name, stopping you in the street, this, that, the other. I've got, the chills now. It's something that you can't.
How can you describe that?
It's like what you dream about. So I'm forever grateful, for how they've treated me at the club, and I love them for everything that I've just said and more. I think, dreams of my dreams have come true, and I'm glad that I could do it with them as well, because their support doesn't go unnoticed, especially from me.
Does that help? Obviously, you spoke about in the podcast about those low moments at the start. Does even if it's not like directly to you, messages or whatever, does that also help give you that boost to try and push through that as well, knowing that they'll still back you unconditionally?
Yeah, definitely.
Regardless?
I think when you love a club so much, they can see that, and if you give everything and it doesn't come off, they appreciate that because they can relate to that. I will have had a very similar upbringing to a lot of the people in the stands, and I hope that they can see that the grind and the effort and the love and the pride of wearing a City shirt comes out of me or us as players, in a representation of them who have grown up from probably babies, or some that have decided to choose City as their team. How can it be relatable and to them, and how can we be successful as a collective? I hope that we can have more successul moments, shared together here, and lifting more trophies at the stadium.
Fingers crossed
together,
fingers crossed.
Yeah.
It feels like a good time to move on to the Quickfire round. Okay. That's such a lovely tribute to the fans. Right, so first question, who is the toughest player to mark that you've come up against?
Toughest player to mark? I'll go Jeremy in training, but I've said it for a few years. Giroud was... me and him had some great battles for when he was at Arsenal, and for France as well. Top player, and very, very underrated in my opinion.
Yeah, that's the word that came to my head when you said Giroud was underrated, really.
Yeah.
But favourite City kit that you've ever worn?
Treble one.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
That's my favourite as well. It's a classy kit regardless of what you want in it, but to have won it in that kit that classy is,
Say no more. One away ground that you love playing at?
I'd probably say Old Trafford.
some good wins there.
I've
in
had
the
some
past.
good wins there.
Yeah. Slightly different to what George asked about partners, but just as a sole defender, who would you say maybe is the best you've played with?
Oh, I can't say.
That's a tough one, that isn't it?
I'm too nice, man. I can't say. Best defender. I'm gonna go no comment on that one.
Yeah,
Fair.
nice.
Plead
nice.
the fifth.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And finally, most underrated teammate you've ever had?
Underrated.
Yeah, I'm not going to ask overrated. That'd be brutal.
Underrated. I don't think they're underrated here, or for us. There's a few, you know, that globally are viewed underrated, in my opinion. Fernandinho.
Yeah.
Gosh, there's so many people that I thought were incredible at the work. I go Fernandinho.
Yeah.
I think we all know and appreciate him for what he'd done and how I thought he was incredible. But
Yeah.
I think globally, you know, he went under the radar.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
Just the final two things I said. So what we do on every podcast is previous guest leaves a question for the next guest, and then you'll do the same for whoever we have next. So Sydney Lohman from our women's team was the last person on the podcast. Good question, actually.
It is
isn't
a good question. Yeah, it's a
Go
hard
on,
one. Another
I'll
hard
let
one.
you do it.
So Sydney asked if you could only eat 2 meals for the rest of your life, what would they be?
Can you not have a dessert with one meal or not? Is that classed as
I think she said two so that you could have different courses.
I think so,
didn't she?
yeah.
all right?
Yeah.
I'll go roast.
Yeah.
That's a bit
What
of an
meat
easy
are
one.
you having on that?
Well, I have a bit of everything.
Yeah.
Probably. Why not?
It's very
Final meal.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll go roast, and you got to choose something that's not going to get boring, you know. So I would proper English fish and chips or something like that.
Nice.
I don't think you can get bored of that or
No?
a roast, to be honest. No.
No, especially with with the meats you can have and the fish and chips. Yeah.
And if you just
Not a
say
bad
chippy,
one.
you can have fish cake one day. You could have
Yeah,
sausage
fair
and
enough.
eggs,
All right.
Yeah.
I'll go for
pie.
that.
It's a good shout. I think I'd go for fish and chips, to be fair.
Yeah, it's not a
Be one
bad
of mine.
shout. Yeah.
Fair.
Amazing. And just finally, John, a question for our next guest. So we don't actually know who it is. We've done all of our research has been dedicated to you, so we've not actually looked at who's
But
coming
it doesn't
up.
have to be
Question.
football related. It can be anything wild, weird, random, football, non-football, anything at all. Like when we had Marcus Bettinelli on, we did remember the white and gold, black and blue dress.
Oh yeah.
He said, "I'll pass it on to the next person and see."
Okay.
So it could be anything random as you like.
What's the ones where people go like, how many wheels or doors is it? Or something in the world.
Oh,
Doors
yeah.
or windows in the world?
Yeah,
How many?
something like that.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is a
I
good
remember
one.
that.
So yeah, it's just.
But we always think of
but
some of
there's
these
no
little
right
cars
answer,
or-
is there?
Yeah, but a four-wheel
Unless you-
car's still got 4 doors.
But you're thinking toy cars don't have doors and they have wheels.
You've opened the right can of worms here, John.
Yeah.
Oh, here
yeah.
we go. I've got one actually.
Okay.
So you can ask: is there more grains of sand on the world, or stars in the sky?
Ooh,
Surely stars.
I'd say stars, I think.
It's a good
Yeah,
question.
but-
It's a good question.
Good question.
because
Well, you
then-
imagine
yeah.
you pick up a handful of sand.
Yeah.
How many grains is in that to stars in the sky?
It's a good point.
And I think I know the answer.
yeah.
What would you say?
It's stars.
Stars, yeah.
Which is a mad concept to get your head around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
We've
that's a
had
nice way
the
to-
deepest bit of the pod is right at the end. We have to stop. Amazing. Well, John, thanks so much for your time.
No worries.
Really appreciate it, and best
Yeah,
of luck
nice
for the rest
one.
of the season.
Thank you. Cheers, guys.